Ladies, Patrizio Buone, ambassador for La Dolce Vita, is back on African soil. We do love this Italian crooner, and we found on a weekend of rhino conservation and golf that his feelings for South Africa also run river deep, mountain high.
What are you afraid of? Ain't nobody here but us.
This is our fourth visit from 34-year-old Austrian-Italian Patrizio, who clearly has a soft spot for South Africa's people and wildlife, as Ursula discovered at the Rhino Orphanage inside Limpopo's Legend Golf and Safari Resort.
Patrizio, when you requested that we meet you here, I just thought, well, that's interesting.
When we think of Africa, we think of the Big Five. And when I hear that so many animals here get killed, can you imagine Africa with Big Four? It's just impossible. So for me, being Italian, who is never speechless, this makes me speechless.
Pete, tell us about some of the very important work this orphanage does.
Well, what we try to do is to make sure that all the rhinos here can ultimately be released back into the wild. So we keep human contact to an absolute minimum, which is why we're whispering now. The rhinos have dedicated carers, and when we break that bond with the carer, that allows the rhino then one day to go back into the wild.
Where do you find the baby rhinos? Where do they come from?
The poaching crisis war is across South Africa, so various organisations will let us know when there's been a poaching, and then we'll go and assess the situation and see if there is an orphan, if it needs to be given specialist care, the specialist care that we were set up to actually give. And then we take it from there, and it's so incredibly dedicated work that the guys who work here do. And baby rhino are just like little children. They need hand feeding 24 hours a day for up to 18 months.
This was always going to be a flying visit, as he's busy recording his new album between London and Naples, whilst also touring the US and Germany. That said, being at the home of the golfing world's most dramatic 19th hole, our guest had to play around.
Let me just try one thing.
Well, now that your voice is warmed up, let's tee off.
Now.
You can't accuse Ursula of not committing to her shot. In this world, there are golfers, TV presenters, and popular baritones like Patrizio. Below, it was definitely a safe day to mow the green. Up top, they changed the subject.
I would imagine, Patrizio, with your schedule, you don't have much time to yourself.
Free time, not really, but a lot of fun. Gosh, I sound so serious, but it's really true. I mean, I spend most of my time on an airplane than actually on stage, but then there are moments like this that I don't want to change it.
How do you manage to keep the passion going in your music, to keep it fresh all the time?
Well, the passion is because I love singing. I would be singing anyway. As I always say, my bread is the applause, and I get my joy out of the audience. And that's why my new album that I'm releasing here in South Africa is called Dankie South Africa, because South Africa is groot. And I get my kick from the people. It's what goes around comes around. And that's where I get the passion.
He speaks 6 languages and has recorded in Japanese, Polish and Afrikaans with Colia Botha, Nia Nel and Steve Hofmeyer. At lunch, we were excited to hear that he'll be back on September 21st and 22nd for 2 nights at the Teatro at Monte Cassino.
You're very popular in South Africa, and every time you come back, you get such a great reception. What do you think South Africans love so much about you?
I think, I'm pretty sure that because I've been always honest and true to myself, people can see and feel that. In German we say I don't have to verstellen, I don't have to change myself. It's just natural. Patrizio Buone, that's the name that is in my passport. The music is romantic. I can be a cheeky guy, I can have some fun, and that's what people want.
Each time you leave South Africa, Patrizio, what do you take with you from our people?
From the people?
Yeah.
Oh, well, they give me a lot of presents. They give me, of course, always food and some wine. But you eat and drink the wine. But beauty catches your eyes, and character catches your heart. Let me show you something. Excuse me, guys. Hey, mambo, mambo italiano. Hey, mambo, mambo. mambo, Italiano, go Joe, mixed up Siciliano. All you calabrese do the mambo like a crazy with a mambo, mambo, tarantella, mambo, mambo, tarantella. Fine insalata with a fish of bacala. Hey!
Whatever your home language, Patrizio's infectious energy speaks to our hearts.